Yeah, you don't understand why. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. You know, there's another great week of practice, and it was a short week, obviously, with the Chicago game on Wednesday. But they were really good yesterday in practice again. And, you know, obviously we've only had the full team for a couple of weeks, and Tobin does help. It certainly helps Vero, I think. Takes a little bit of pressure off Vero in the midfield. And Alex is starting to read Vero, and Sink's starting to read Vero. So I think Vero's probably the key. Vero's probably the key ingredient in the whole thing, I think, and now everyone's starting to get on the same wavelength with her, and I think that was probably the key. And I thought that would happen a bit quicker than it did happen. So, but it's just, I mean, some good goals, some great combinations, and we missed quite a few too on top of it. And you know, I mean, Kansas City are a really good team too. I mean, they're probably the best footballing team in the league. So, I think to out-football them is quite an accomplishment, you know. But it's only 3 points. Unfortunately, you don't get 10 points for it when you only get 3. So we've still got a long way to go and a lot of points to get. And you know, we've got to go to Chicago Thursday and get points again before we come back here. So tough road ahead. You know, 5 games in 15 days. So it's a tough stretch for us. But you know, if we can get the confidence, you know, obviously it's going to give Ali some confidence, scoring a couple, Vero some confidence. Sink scored, Alex scored, Amber scored. We talked about the midfield scoring goals, and you know, quite a few of the midfield scored today. So that was a huge plus for us. Huh? Alex looks good. Yeah, she's fine. So I think it was just a fright, you know, and we've been trying to protect her the last couple of weeks, you know, taking her out, and you know, I don't think she's 100% game shape, and she'll probably, I think she'll agree in one sense, in the sharpness sense, but probably not agree in the fitness sense, and she's probably right in the fitness sense. But I think she was just a shock of it, and then she just said, "I said, how you feeling?" She goes, "I feel great." And I'm like, "All right, fine." So I thought she had her best game by far today. Her and Sink, you know, we flipped their positions a little bit. We put Sink a little bit higher and Alex underneath, and I don't know if it helped them, but they just looked a little bit more in sync, so to speak. And obviously getting those two on the same wavelength would be a huge plus as we get the run into the playoffs.
What did Alex bang up?
It was the other ankle. She just, it was just the other ankle. Just the other one. But it was just the ankle, and I think it was more fright, you know. She's been out for a long time, so I think any time a tackle comes in like that, I think just leaves a little bit of question mark in the back of her mind, you know. And we were getting her out. Unfortunately, we were a minute too late getting her out. But I mean, she had a terrific game today. I thought the energy of the front group hasn't always been like that, and today the energy, they closed people down, they made it difficult, and you know, we knew Barney couldn't kick, you know, she's got a knock, so we knew their goalkeeper couldn't kick, so the fact that we could get in tighter to them and put some pressure on them, there was a lot of turnovers in the first half, I think, in their half of the field, and allowed us to get the ball a little bit higher than probably what we normally would get.
At this point, did you sort of looked at the table and said, this is what it's going to take to try and make a run in the playoffs? Do you know how many points it's going to take?
Yeah, I mean, I think in our own mind we know. I mean, the players know. I think we're just trying to take it. I know it's a cliche, one game at a time, but we knew coming in here we had to give a good home performance. We haven't given one all season, to be honest with you. We've had decent performances, but we really haven't put somebody to the coals, and I think that's what we wanted to do. I didn't expect it to be, obviously, this kind of scoreline. But I just thought we had some great energy. Even in Chicago, it was a tough place to play in Chicago, and we had great energy. And I thought we'd just bring that verve and that energy, that we'd have a good result. And I didn't give them a day off. We've kept them in here, even if it's just looking at tape, even if it's just doing injuries, just if it's doing something, just so we're around each other. And they're not hiking the mountains and canoeing the rivers, you know. I want to keep them, and really it's going to be like that for the next 6 weeks, and they're going to be probably so sick of me talking to them in the next 6 weeks. But whatever it takes us to get in, we'll take anything at this point, fourth, third, second, whatever it is that we're striving for. We just want to get in, and then hopefully we can do some damage when we're in. But we got a lot of work ahead of us, and Chicago had a great result last night against Seattle, so now we've got to go into the cauldron. It's a tough place to play, and we've got to be almost a little bit different than today. Today we played some great football. It's very hard to play great football if you get 4 passes and then everyone's kicking the lumps out of you. So it's going to be a difficult game for us, but hopefully we can get some points.
Are you willing to say how many points it's going to be?
No, I'm not. That's what the question, right? Yeah. The girls know. I mean, we've talked about it. It's a lot of points. We need a lot, I mean, we haven't given up on second. I mean, it's a tall order, there's no question. Obviously, today helped us a little bit. But just getting in the playoffs is really our main goal at this point. It would be great to get a home game, but we'd have to get some help as well. As, we're not in a position where we can just win out at this point. And, Chicago's in the running. Washington had a good result last night. Western York's challenging. I think there's still some life left in a couple of the other teams too, even below that. So I think the league will be happy with the fact that all these teams are trying to get in the playoffs, and just got to keep plugging along.
Could you like a similar breakout a couple of weeks ago at
Yeah.
Washington when you were 6? Is there something about this game that you think might translate
Well, I think it's the first time we've actually had the full team. I said to somebody during the week that if we were 2 weeks into the season right now, I'd be a really happy guy, because I really feel like we spent a lot of time with Alex Sink and Vero particularly the last couple of weeks, and obviously with Tobin coming and just getting them in the final third, and that seems to be where we've had the problems. We've created a lot of chances or half chances and not put them away, and I think we've had, we're the highest shooting team in the league, we've got the most shots in the league, and yet we're in 6th place, so obviously putting them in the back of the net and just finding some chemistry in that final third is really what we've been trying to do, and we haven't spent a ton of time in the back four, to be honest with you. We've been looking at the other end of the field and trying to put things right, but give credit to the back four too today, because I thought Emily Menges, again, young player, came in today, had a great game. Rebecca Morris came into the lineup, had a great game. Rachel was banged up a little bit, so we gave her a breather, and it worked to our advantage. We gave Huff a breather. She had a couple of great games in the run, so it's a matter of trying to keep everybody fresh too, and keeping them sharp and fresh, and that's going to be really the management side of it the next 6 weeks as we head on the running.
Any other questions for Paul? All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.